wrestling royalty here in SoCal has arrived.
Mexico, coming in at a weight of 171 pounds. He is the former one half of the legendary Los Luchas, El Maestro. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Zokre.
You know, Mike, I understand you were talking to one of the participants in this match heading into tonight, and he had some pointed words about how this may or may not be a student versus teacher situation.
Yeah, instead he had claimed this is more of a teacher versus teacher moment. El Primohenio thinks that tonight he can match up to his trainer, his teacher, and El Zokre.
El Zokre, of course, no stranger to the Santino Brothers Wrestling Academy, where El Primohenio plies his trade, and far be it for me to judge the confidence of El Primohenio. He has earned that right over the course of the last several years here in Southern California. But to act like your pedigree, to act like your body of work in such a impressive, though relatively short period of time, measures up to Zokre, it's a bold claim, Wexler. However, if there's anyone who can back up that bold claim, it's the biggest man alive, El Mas Macho himself.
You know, he's known as El Mas Macho, but I think one moniker that people forget is that he is also known as El Jefe. That is a moniker that he has earned over the past several years at SoCal Wrestling. I've seen this man go from not only Rival Pro Wrestling, but Millennium Pro Wrestling, but BXS Wrestling, all over Southern California, even beyond. This man has done so much and more that I even wouldn't even go to say he has earned the right to even stand in the ring with one Zokre.
Well, it is a duo of SoCal royalty here. Referee Rick Knox, set to officiate a Zokre match. Not sure what year it is, but Primo looking to bring us back down to reality. He doesn't care about sentimentality. He doesn't care about anniversary celebrations. Knox signals for the bell, and we are underway. Zokre head-to-head with El Primohenio.
I mean, if there has to be an intensity factor, Jordan, I mean, I have to give it a Zokre. I mean, how could you outdo the aggressiveness that is Zokre?
You think there's a part of Zokre that maybe feels disrespected by El Primohenio? I mean, El Primo's saying that. All right. If Primo's saying that to you, he's certainly saying it to just about anybody who will listen here in the Rival Pro locker room. And Zokre no doubt caught wind. He says, man, I brought you into this world. I nurtured you as a wrestler. I trained you. And now you have the audacity to say you're on my level. I mean, Zokre no doubt feels a little chapped about that.
Well, no, I mean, there has to be a level of disrespect that Zokre does feel from El Primohenio. But, I mean, the resume has its own conversation. I mean, El Primohenio has gone in there with the absolute best, not only from Santino Brothers, but all over the world. So, I mean, would I be a bold statement to say that, yes, he does belong in the conversation with Zokre? Absolutely. But, again, you cannot count out Zokre.
Cover. El Primohenio nearly got counted out 1, 2, 3 in the opening moments of the contest.
Right.
Listen, I will never be one to take away the accomplishments of El Primohenio. He is a tremendous professional wrestler. He has only grown and improved in the time we've seen him competing here in Southern California.
Right.
But you heard it from Rob, our ring announcer, one half of the legendary Los Luchas. And that is not just a title. They laid the foundation for tag team wrestling and independent wrestling as it is known here in Southern California. Oh, hold on. A little company by the name of Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, a standard bearer for not just independent wrestling in this region, but independent wrestling across the globe. Their very foundation was laid by the work of tag teams like Los Luchas, and that's not something you can build in a couple years, however impressive they may have been for El Primohenio.
I mean, again, Right now, even with just that little showing that we had right now, I mean, this is Lucha Libre at its best. It's such a great combination of American Pro Wrestling and Lucha Libre all into one match.
A blend of styles, to be sure. Primohenio, certainly a chameleon wrestler. Can wrestle all styles. Gonna need to tap into that Lucha Libre acumen here tonight against Zokre, or does he? Is it a fool's errand to try to wrestle a lucha style against a lucha specialist like a Zokre, or do you perhaps try to ground the luchador, try to wrestle your own type of match?
I've always been an advocate of wrestle your own style if it works. You shouldn't have to go to the levels of your opponent. However, if you go to the levels of your opponent, just like El Primohenio is going to do against Zokre with his Lucha Libre style, if it works, continue to do it. Continue on to the attack, as we see a 1 count by the one Rick Knox.
Right now it's working for Zokre, taking Primohenio off his feet, hooking the leg, nearly a 2 count there. And Primo getting frustrated, rolling outside the ring. I'll say it, Mike, Primo seems out of his depth here. For all the talk of this being an even playing field, teacher versus teacher, he's not comparing with Zokre as of right now.
Well, he has to think of a different strategy here. I mean, we had that conversation right now. What strategy do you use? Do you use what your opponent's doing, or do you do something of your own, something different? And right now, El Primohenio has to be thinking that and say, okay, maybe I have to try something different here. Maybe try to get into the mind of Zokre. That's why he's doing it right here.
Taking every single second allotted to him by referee Rick Knox here on the outside. Gingerly re-entering the ring, and I thought maybe showing Zokre some respect, but Zokre's been around the block just a few too many times. Shoulders down. Primo with a reversal, but it's Zokre with a crucifix. Everything that Primo has tried here, Mike, Zokre has had an answer for. Case in point. Taking Primo for a ride. Match nearly ended there, only a 2.
You got to credit Zokre's experience. You got to credit the fact that he's a maestro. That means a teacher. That means that he knows every single trick in the book here in Lucha Libre. And right now, you got to think that he still has tricks that hasn't even taught Primohenio yet.
See, I thought Zokre was doing the hand symbol to specify how close he was to getting a pinfall victory. I think he was instead insulting El Primohenio's manhood, though I could be wrong. My Spanish is not perfect.
Hey, I'm brown and I don't know Spanish, so I mean, hey.
Saying El Mas Macho's a little pequeño as Primo looks for the head. Oh, come on. Well, went for the handshake instead. Zokre with a headbutt. That is a cheap shot there from El Primohenio.
And look at this, continuing on to the attack of that shoulder. I mean, yes, it was a cheap shot, but one could even say that that was smart strategy.
Listen, I can malign it all I want, Wexler. It's working for Primo here in firm control for the first time in this matchup, laying the shots into the head and neck of Zokre. Absolutely merciless onslaught here from El Jefe.
See, you call him El Jefe too.
It's one of his nicknames, and as you said, it's an earned nickname, one that will only be earned more if he picks up a victory here tonight over Zokre. Zokre sent spilling to the outside here.
And one could even say that this is smart strategy, getting Zokre onto the outside and going onto the attack.
And no ropes for Zokre to bounce off of. No turnbuckles for him to fly off of. El Primohenio limiting the offense of Zokre, taking him out of his depth, out of his element. And looking very impressive as he does so.
If you clip the wings of a bird, it cannot fly. And right now, El Primohenio is clipping the wings of a bird. But wait a second, Zokre.
That bird just clipped back.
Oh, wait a second.
There is no teacher for experience, Wexler. Zokre's got a decade plus on El Primohenio, and as the Tiger feint kick to the back sends him spilling to the outside, Primo is learning that the hard way. Tope Suicida!
Incredible athleticism from Zokre. That's that experience heading into play right there.
Man, you thought Zokre was fired up before the bell? Once the bell rang, he's operating on another level right now, Wexler.
Again, that is the infinite energy of Zokre. And we're seeing it right here against El Primohenio after a beautiful dive onto the outside. And look, do you hear this? The crowd loving Zokre here at the 8-year anniversary of Rival Pro.
Zokre now, thinking springboard perhaps. But Primo, deceptive agility of his own, spinning heel kick.
Innovative offense from El Jefe, El Mes Macho.
Looking to return the favor here. Now it's Primo with a dive. Gorgeous motion in midair, wiping out Zokre.
That was almost like a corkscrew going into the outside right there.
Absolutely it was. And I want to point out, Mike, here on the floor of Baldwin Park, the American Legion, there is no padding. There is no protection for these athletes. That is a hard linoleum floor that Zokre was just sent spilling onto back first. And speaking of the back, just drilled onto the apron here.
And again, that could be an opening point for El Primohenio right there, aiming after the back of Zokre, limiting the offense, limiting the agility.
It's got to be. Cutting down what Zokre is most known for. Again, isolating that neck. So many nerve endings, so many pressure points in the neck of Zokre there. Cover. Only a 2.
Again, if you're Zokre right now, you have to be in a lot of trouble, especially having that back aimed, especially having that neck being tortured right now.
Let me ask you, Wexler, if you're Zokre, what do you hope to do to get back in this contest to counteract the offense of El Primohenio?
Well, you have to use your speed to your advantage. You have to use that quickness, that intensity that we've known Zokre for so many years at this point, so that way you can go back to the agility, go back to the springboards.
Much easier said than done. Tied up in the middle rope. El Primohenio, he's got a temper on him, Wexler. When he comes out here, handsome dude, looking like $1 million. But I mean, there is something very wrong in the psyche of El Primohenio. And you talk about it, Zokre looking for that opening, trying to catch El Primohenio off guard. We might have seen just that here. Armbar applied. Primo, perhaps with no choice but to submit.
And did you see how quickly he transitioned into the submission, wrenching that left arm all the way back and isolating that right arm onto the floor?
He's going to break the damn thing here, Wexler. And Primo very, very wisely using that ring awareness to reach the bottom rope. Make contact and force the break. Speaking of breaks, maybe breaking a few phalanges there, is it? Zokre.
The crowd asking for one more time. I don't think El Primohenio would love that at all.
I thought you didn't speak Spanish.
I mean, I'd assume that's what it meant.
I don't know what to believe, Wexler. Gorgeous drop kick. We are not going to see otra as El Primohenio wipes out his opponent, but still clearly feeling pain in that left hand here.
I mean, that could be a huge factor on El Primo's offense right there. I mean, without that left hand and the fact that he's a power hitter, the fact that he knows how to lift opponents up from the ground, that could limit that offense and maybe hurt his game.
Absolutely. I mean, El Mas Macho, the biggest man alive, he loves to employ that power, but much easier said than done with, as you said, a clipped wing.
Oh, look at that power.
Looking very impressive thus far, but lessening the impact, lessening the weight on that injured left hand. The right doing all the work here. It's the left arm and the right hand as the fans continue to count and the blood continues to flow to the skull of Zokre. He could lose consciousness here, caught in this delayed vertical suplex.
It is the power that is showcased right there. The power of El Mas Macho.
You go for the cover. Capitalize here, Primo.
Only a 2 count.
Only a 2 count, and it could have been a 3, I'm sorry to say. El Primohenio so caught up in flexing and looking impressive towards the rival pro faithful, rubbing it in the face of the people. They damn near could have cost himself the match.
But look at this. Now you see the frustration of El Primohenio taking off the weight belt and met with a huge shot by Zokre. And you never want to go into a chop battle with El Maestro.
Back and forth, tit for tat we go here.
Look at that huge European uppercut right there by El Primohenio. Wait a second. That impact in the corner, and look at that big boot taking down Zokre, but wait a second, what's this, Jordan?
I think Primo looking to take to the skies. We're gonna finish this one decisively. Split-legged moonsault, but no water in the pool. That is the risk you run with a maneuver like that, Wexler, turning your back on the opponent, and as we saw there, giving Zokre the opening to roll out of dodge.
And after all the pain that Zokre has been through, you gotta believe that he is feeling the pain, but I think it's the energy of the Rival Pro faithful that's getting him back in this match.
Zokre catches Primo flush across the face, hung out to dry here on the apron. And both men sent spilling to the outside. Zokre with the cutter, but how much was taken out of him, Wexler? Did you see the landing on the lower back, the tailbone of Zokre?
That is the sacrifices you make here at Rival Pro Wrestling. 8-year anniversary here tonight.
8 years and so many more to come. Zokre now got a muscle. El Primohenio back up to his feet, back inside the ring. Has to capitalize here. Pops him up and drills him down with a sit-out powerbomb. But still not enough. What does Zokre have to do here, Wexler? He found his way back in this thing. He rebounded, from the offense of El Primohenio. Now he's got to seal the deal.
He's got to continue on to the attack. The moment you let El Primohenio breathe, the worse of a time you're going to have to get the offense on him. You have to keep going. Keep that quickness up. You got to keep the speed in order to get yourself the win.
Slice in the throat. Calling for the end. But Primo fights his way out of dodge. Big headbutt. Staggered here, but able to land the springboard stunner. Falcon Arrow, cover! What the? Mike, nobody kicks out of the Falcon Arrow.
Nobody does, but Zokre did.
Can't believe my eyes. Zokre out cold, but the wherewithal to get the shoulder up, and Primo's face tells the whole story here. He can barely believe it. Is there one shot left in the chamber of El Mas Macho here?
There has to be. You got to continue on to the attack, and you can see the frustration kicking in. Could this be the moment where the student becomes the teacher? Back and forth chops.
This is Rival Pro Wrestling. And you can see Wexler, both of these men dead on their feet, can barely stand without the other's weight. Zokre now playing a little bit of possum. One more chop. Two more. Oh, keep them coming, man. Unrelenting on the chest of El Primohenio, shoots him into the corner. Or does he? Primo again with that headbutt. That same disrespectful headbutt he suckered Zokre into in the opening moments of the contest. And now Zokre looking to make him pay the price from the second. Mexican Destroyer! No!
How in the world?
What a match, Wexler! 8 years strong, and this one's in the running for one of the greatest in company history. Primohenio and Zokre putting on a show here tonight, Wexler.
8 years of Rival Pro Wrestling being showcased right here tonight between two luchadors putting it all on the line.
Back to these chops, and Primo nearly taken off his feet. Primohenio crucified on that top rope. As Zokre again shoots him off, but again Primo with the reversal. Sit up powerbomb.
But he's not done.
Double underhook. Jay Driller, cover. Primo got him.
And your winner, Primohenio.
One for the ages, Mike Wexler. You know, I was very skeptical. I was the first one to raise an eyebrow and point a finger at El Primohenio. But he made a fool out of me and a believer out of everyone here tonight in the audience. What a victory and what a performance over Zokre. That cash, very, very well deserved.
We had that discussion before the show about El Primohenio saying that he will become from the student to the teacher, and tonight here at the 8-year anniversary of Rival Pro, the student just became the maestro.
Teaching us all a thing or two is El Primohenio. Rookie no more, blue chipper no more, greenhorn no more.
Well deserved from both of these two. Well deserved. You can see some dollar bills in the ring. The respect being shown here tonight. Incredible here at the 8-year anniversary of Rival Pro.
And that right there, that is what it's all about. Knocking each other nearly out cold. Disrespect from El Primohenio, risking life and limb of them and their opponent. All for the pursuit of victory here in Rival Pro Wrestling. And a reminder, Mike Wexler, this just the first match in the crowning tournament for our new unrivaled championship. So with this victory, El Primohenio earns his spot into the quarterfinals, the semifinals of the Rival Pro Wrestling Unrivaled Championship Tournament. Zokre is knocked out of the pool, and the brackets to be revealed soon, but man, if that is the action that we have in store for the Unrivaled Championship Tournament, I'm really, really looking forward to what Rival Pro Management is cooking up next, Wexler.
I'm looking forward to who else is in the tournament.